The Feast of No Return, Part 1. Amaka was happy when the golden envelope arrived at her door. The invitation sparkled with bold letters reading, "You are invited to the Feast of the Year, hosted by Chief Ezendu." Amaka's heart raced as she read the details. This was no ordinary party. It was the kind of event where the rich and famous gathered. She quickly called her best friend, Oge, and begged her to come along. "Oge, this is our chance to meet important people. Imagine the doors this could open for us," Amaka exclaimed, her voice filled with excitement. Oge, however, wasn't excited. "Amaka, you know I don't like big events like this. I have a bad feeling about it," she said consciously, but Amaka wouldn't take no for an answer. "Oge, this is not just a party. It is the party full of rich and famous people. Don't you want to experience luxury for once?" Reluctantly, Oge agreed. After all, Amaka was her best friend, and she didn't want her to go alone. On the night of the party, Amaka and Oge arrived at Chief Ezendu's mansion. It was like nothing they had ever seen before. The massive gate opened slowly, revealing a glowing palace surrounded by fountain and perfectly trimmed gardens. The mansion seemed to stretch endlessly into the night sky, and the sound of soft enchanting music floated through the air. Amaka's eyes widened as she grabbed Oge's hands. "This is it. This is the life we have been dreaming about." As they stepped inside, the smell of delicious food hit them immediately. Table covered with golden cloths were loaded with steaming dishes of every kind: roasted chicken, jollof rice, exotic fruit, and pastries that looked too perfect to eat. Amaka could hardly wait to dig in, but Oge hesitated. "Amaka, something feels off. Look at the servants. They are not smiling," she whispered. The servants moved like robots, their face blank, their eyes hollow. "Stop being so paranoid," Amaka said with a laugh while grabbing a plate. "This food looks amazing. Don't spoil the fun." Oge signed and decided to stay close to her friend. She didn't want to ruin the night, but she couldn't shake the strange feeling that something was wrong. As they walked through the crowd, Amaka chatted excitedly with other guests. Everyone was dressed in glamorous outfits, their jewelry sparkling under the golden light. Chief Ezendu himself finally appeared, wearing a long flowing robe designed with strange symbols. His smile was wide, but his eyes held a cold glint that sent shiver down Oge's spine. "Welcome, my honored guests," he said, his voice deep, echoing through the hall. "Tonight, you feast like king and queens." Amaka clapped her hands in delight, while Oge stayed quiet, her eyes scanning the room for anything unusual. It wasn't long before she noticed something odd. "No one seems to leave the party," she whispered to Amaka, "and the gates are locked. Why? It's like everyone is trapped here." Amaka rolled her eyes. "Relax, Oge. You are overthinking everything." The night was just beginning, but Oge couldn't help feeling that it would be a night they would never forget for all the wrong reasons. As the night goes on, the mansion buzzed with laughter, music, and clicking glasses. Guests danced and chatted, unaware of the storm growing around them. Amaka was in her element, eating and laughing with strangers who admired her confidence. Oge, on the other hand, stayed close to the wall, observing everything with a growing sense of unease. While Amaka enjoyed herself, a strange incident caught Oge's attention. A man in a sharp suit stumbled towards the exit, clenching his stomach. His face was pale, and sweat poured down his forehead. As he reached the grand gate, he collapsed with a loud sound, drawing everyone's attention. Panic filled the room as guests gathered around him. Blood trickled from his eyes, staining his white shirt. His trembling lips managed to utter one final warning: "Don't eat the food." Then he went still. A heavy silence hung in the air. Chief Ezendu quickly stepped forward, clapping his hands to calm the crowd. "Please do not panic," he said smoothly. "The poor man must have had a medical condition. Let us not let this unfortunate event ruin our night. His words were reassuring, but his smile didn't reach his eyes. Oge grabbed Amaka's arms, whispering urgently, "We need to leave now." Amaka shook her head. "Oge, don't be ridiculous. It is just a coincidence. I have been eating the food, and I feel fine." Oge's heart sank. She couldn't believe her friend